Hello from the past.
And hello from the future.
No,
From,
not quite.
this is
Yes.
a relic from the last decade.
Hey, Dad, how's it going?
Speaking of which,
What?
Now that the decade is coming.
Wait,
to
have
an
we
end,
started? I can't even tell if we've started the podcast or not.
We
Yes.
have.
All right, let's.
It's,
we gotta do. There's literally one like.
we have
There's
to
one
introduce
thing that we do
ourselves.
on the podcast that everything
Guys,
else
like,
is
we've
just
never made a
open, free
podcast
form.
before.
Hello, I'm Eddie.
Oh shit, you're right. Hi, I'm Ben.
I'm Evey.
I am Mike.
We brought back the cast from episode 1. I like it.
Did. By
Yeah.
accident.
Mike,
Yeah.
it sounded like you had a thing you were going to talk about.
Yes. Well, I was saying now that the decade is coming to the end. How old were you guys when the decade started?
Oh, you're gonna make me do math right now?
14.
It's -10.
Oh, right. That's an easy one. What Ben said. We're the same age.
Christ.
I was 12.
What? Leave me alone.
I also was 14. I'm pretty sure I'm 24. I have kind of lost track at this point.
Honestly, me too. I wasn't sure until Ben said it. I just know we were born
Oh
at the
god,
same
guys, I
time.
just sniffled like right in front of my microphone, and the way that we record the podcast, that's not getting edited out.
I mean, I didn't hear it.
Nonetheless,
But we know.
the whole thing was just a quick kind of rattle it off. I guess I'll start with myself. If you guys have any highlights from the decade, considering it's half of our lives since we're all kind of young. I guess I'll go first. Definitely meeting my beautiful girlfriend Evey.
Gross. Shut up.
Gay.
Next.
Shut up.
Was a big thing. Thank you.
Like, so gay.
Getting
Oh, she was
introduced
talking to him.
Definitely getting introduced to the FGC and competitive gaming in general, just because it's very nice to be able to consistently go out and see people who you always know will have similar interests as you, and just kind of be able to have that reliable group where you kind of walk in and you don't really feel excluded in any way. Let's see, FGC, girlfriend, getting a fucking job.
That's a highlight?
Yeah, getting a fucking job is a highlight.
That's the death of innocence.
Yeah,
the death
man.
of innocence. Yeah, and definitely something a lot more recent was finally stop drinking 7 sodas a day because
Tricky.
very tricky actually, because for literally my entire life up to like the past month, I would just pound sodas like religiously. Like I'd come home and I'd drink like 7 or 8 sodas, like after
Yeah, it's a
school,
mood.
after
That's
work,
probably not
like,
good.
and I just didn't drink water either, like at all. Like really, really bad. I was fucking up my kidneys, something special.
I have a friend who in high school almost exclusively drank Mountain Dew.
Oh, that was
God.
me.
And before he was 18, I think he had passed 2 or 3 kidney stones.
Yep.
Yeah,
And now
Did
he
your friends
doesn't.
know that?
Now he doesn't drink soda.
Yeah.
no,
Did your friends know that Mountain Dew is a spermicide?
It doesn't matter. Like, that just
Also,
doesn't-
yeah,
It's just
all right.
funny to
No,
think that Mountain Dew is
also-
mild spermicide.
Also, like,
Who cares? What do you
It
need
isn't.
them for?
Listen, for a fella who's trying to shoot a good shot, it does matter. But
Why are you? Why?
here's what I'm saying. The study or studies that show
Who
that
needs a baby?
they're the same kind of studies that are that will both
I mean, I
say
want one.
a glass of red
Not right
wine every
now.
day is healthy, or a glass of red wine every day kills you. Like you can do a study on anything and get any result. Like
I
you
mean,
have to
but-
have a
but, like,
lot of large scale repeated results for it
Yeah.
to matter.
this is,
Well,
this
on
is
the red
kind of-
wine thing, the actual like medical consensus is, well, it's not bad for you to have a glass of wine every day.
So let me bring this back around. Highlights of the decade for me. I appreciate you asking, Mike, by the way. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, graduating middle school. That was a big
It was a
one.
big
That's
hurdle.
That's a big
Yeah.
step.
Is graduating high school in there too, or is
that seemed a lot easier.
Yeah, it like, but in comparison, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
I
let me.
actually have to agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, let me. I mean, I met Ben, obviously.
Hell yeah.
Gay.
Play the air horns. Edit in the air horns.
There we go. We don't even need to edit them in.
It's
Yeah, we're all
perfect.
very talented with our mouths.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna mostly give jokes, but since Mike gave serious answers, I met Alyssa, and then years later we got engaged, and that's where we're
That's
at
also
now.
gay.
That's
Because
also
that
gross. Why are we
was-
talking about gross stuff?
I'm a bit,
Cause-
I'm a bit late
Who's
to the
in
party.
love?
I'm a
'Cause
bit
Ben
late to the
brought
party,
up-
but congratulations.
Ben
Oh,
brought up?
thanks. I mean, not Ben, Mike. Whatever. Fuck one of you guys. Mike brought up your highlights of the decade, so I'm talking about
Personally,
mine.
I'm sick of not being
Another
engaged.
big highlight of the decade for me.
Wink.
What the fuck did you say to me, kid?
Evie said she's sick of not being engaged. I said,
Listen,
wink.
I think the decade it's very interesting because I started like looking back and I was like, well, 10 years is not a long time. But then I thought about how many albums Fall Out Boy has released, and I thought maybe it's too long.
yeah, right.
But like I started thinking about all of the things because I was like, oh, what have I done in the last decade? And then I thought, I bought my first car, and now I'm watching that car die in the front yard. I had the worst job of my life, and now the best job of my life. The worst boyfriend of my life, and the best boyfriend of my life.
It's
Oh
not
my
me.
goodness,
Um,
that made
That's not
me
me.
that made
That's
me
not me.
think of the fact that in this decade, all
No,
three
it's
of us,
Chris.
me, Ben, and Evie, we've all started we've all started and stopped working at GameStop.
This is true.
Most of us, yeah.
Yeah, I almost did. But
Oh my god.
Count yourself
So-
among the
so
lucky,
glad
Like,
Mike.
that-
too
so
many of
glad-
us have worked at GameStop.
so glad that in this decade I met my beautiful girlfriend Evie and my beautiful husband to be Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to stop talking about the decade now. Mostly
Before I even get
because
to go, that's great.
oh, Ben, fucking go, man. Jesus
Let's see.
Christ.
No, fuck him.
I got out of high school. I was briefly in college. I worked as a blacksmith for a year,
He
which
did.
was awesome. I was in the best shape of my life, and now I'm a couch potato in the shape of a potato and also a couch. But most importantly, this last decade,
Most
I got my
importantly,
first
oh, shit.
Digivice.
Oh my
God,
god.
fucking.
And I am so fucking glad
I just
because
want
I've
the
wanted one since
listeners-
I was a teeny tiny child.
I want the listeners to know that just like 2 hours ago, I was standing in Ben's room and he said, I wonder how I'm gonna bring up Digimon when we record tonight. And I guess he figured it out.
I did. I figured it out with this Digivice in my
On
hand.
the
Nice
It's
fly.
still
behind the
just a
scenes.
On the
grave.
fly.
All right,
On
so
the fly.
guys, I want to stop talking about the decade and start talking about
Digimon.
2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
excellent.
Now, you may have noticed I wasn't on last episode.
If we keep that episode.
Yeah, if that episode actually gets
Oh,
posted.
oh. So what you're saying is that you could not live with the consequences of your own failures? And where did that bring you? Back to
your
me.
doorstep.
Back to me.
Here's the thing.
Hey
for
man,
the
I told you.
I
you're the
have
backbone of
not
comedy in
listened.
this group.
I have not
Please
listened to
don't
that
just-
episode yet.
Yeah,
Um,
for the listeners who may not hear this apocryphal episode, it was like a good 45 minutes of us bitching about my ex.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna listen to it. I'll see if I can make it. If I can edit
You know,
it into
I-
comedy.
I know that this is supposed to be my redemption from being left out the last episode, but after hearing that, I'm not sure I want it to be there, because I'd be completely silent, because I don't know the guy. I'd be like, oh, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He does sound like a bitch, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, wait. So I need
mean,
to.
like, here's the thing though. It's like, have you ever met a person that was so terrible it was funny?
yeah.
Yes.
It's
myself.
generally not so funny to people that didn't know him though, which is why last episode was not good comedy.
We'll see. We'll see. We need a non-objective viewer.
45
A
minutes.
non-objective.
45 minutes of someone calling someone else a bitch.
Non-subjective?
An
It'd be fun-
objective.
I feel
And
like
I don't know the
objective viewer.
difference. I don't know the difference between the two words, despite it being part of my job.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about that now instead of the thing I was planning on talking about.
Eddie's vocabulary lesson.
So,
always-
And
This
I have an
literally
English
always
degree.
turns into Goblincast live on the air, a podcast about syntax.
all right. So, objective.
Semantics.
Semantics, sure.
Objective. It basically means
There's an
judgment
object.
without. Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
So judgment without
Like whether or
bias
not something is an apple.
or emotion.
Okay.
And then subjective.
Oh, that's why that's the
Has-
section in the vet's notes at work that includes their heart rate.
Yes.
Can't
Yeah.
make that up.
So so subjective basically is from the perspective of the subject,
Mhm.
right? So if you're saying things that you feel
Oh, we
or
shouldn't
think,
have that for dogs.
Whether
We
or
don't
not
know
you
how they
like
feel.
the apple.
yeah, your opinions, things like that, those are subjective. Yeah, that's it basically.
That's the whole
Objective,
thing.
yeah,
I'm not sure how
Wow.
to make jokes about this.
I'm sure
objective
that I
things
used
are
that line
verifiable
down
and
my
subjective
terrible little
things
heart.
are not.
So, like, subjective things are your opinion, and objective things are my opinion.
All right,
There we go. I made the joke.
So
It's
let
perfect.
me
We can move
go
on.
back. So I have a thing I'd like to talk/complain about.
Oh no.
So I have a computer, as we all do.
As do I.
Crazy.
And
Oh, I'm just beaming my thoughts directly to the internet.
I
Oh damn. They
I went-
That's why my
released
it's why
that
my
already?
sound quality's so low.
I went on the internet during Thanksgiving because Cyber
Did you get me
Monday.
that game?
Cyber Monday sales start on Thanksgiving now, which is
All Ben
unfortunate.
cares about are his gifts.
Anyway, so I went on the internet and I purchased some more RAM for my computer because
Sick.
it doesn't have enough.
And
Yeah,
the game,
mine
it was
neither.
woolly and it had horns.
How
Oh,
much?
okay.
How much
And-
does your current computer have?
Right now it has 8.
I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
answer the question about my computer.
So it's going to have more. And you may have noticed I said right now it has 8 and it's going to have more. I still don't have the RAM.
Oh no.
Here's the story. So I sorry
So
about
this
my
is a
voice, by
story
the way.
all
I'm a
about
little
how my
under
RAM
the
got
weather
flipped
and I'm going to
upside
stop
down.
pausing to sip water, so I'm just going to sound like this.
That's okay.
So I went on the website that I ordered from. I'm not going to put them on blast on our very successful podcast.
Everybody in the world listens to that. Everybody in my house will listen to.
I found the RAM is a good deal, good brand, good reviews. I was like, let's do it, right? And I go to order it, and it asks me a question. It says, where do you want us to send this? What is your shipping address? And I say, that's a great fucking question. I appreciate you asking. So I type in my address, the place that I live.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, it's like, all right, give us money. And I said, no problem, dog. I will give you money. And I was at Thanksgiving dinner. Well, I wasn't at the dinner table. It was pre-dinner. But I was at Thanksgiving at Alyssa's family's. So I was like, I'm not going to pull my wallet out and like type in all my card details here, right? But I can just use Apple Pay because I'm on my iPhone. So I used Apple Pay. And I thought, boom, done, easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, 5 to 7 business days later, I don't remember exactly how long, I get an email that's like, hey, your shit got delivered. And I was like, great, very excited. And I go downstairs to the mail, and it's not there. And I'm like, that's weird, right? Let me check this email. And then I check the email, and I'm like, yeah, it says it got delivered. And then I look, and I'm like, that's not where I am right now, that address right there. That is, in fact, my mom's address.
Oh, nice.
And I was very confused because that's not the address I typed in. So I end up getting on the phone with their customer support, and what it turns out happened is because I paid with Apple Pay, they looked at the address that was linked to my Apple Pay, because that's where I lived when I set up Apple Pay
Right.
a couple years ago. And they decided to send it to there. And I said,
But, like,
why?
People order like gifts all the time and send them to addresses that aren't theirs.
And the guy was like, and the customer support guy, it's not his fault, but he also clearly didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Because he was
no.
like, oh, that's like Apple's policy, right? And I said,
Isn't.
that's really interesting, because I'm sitting in this chair right now that I bought the same day, and I also paid for it with my Apple Pay, and it's here. I'm sitting in it
Yeah.
while I'm on the phone with you. So that's very interesting that Apple makes you do that, and they didn't make these other people do that. You should renegotiate your deal with Apple.
Yeah. It seems like it was just a bad deal. Terrible.
Yeah. No good deal. Terrible.
The worst deal in the history of deals.
Anyway, so I called my mom and I'm like, hey mom, did I get a package? And she was like, yeah, you did. And I was like, that was supposed to be here. So I still don't have it because she was gonna send it. But I was like, no, I'm gonna see you for Christmas or whatever. So the end of the story is not as exciting as the rest of it. But I was very upset
Yeah, I would be very upset too.
Like,
I
homie, why did you
um,
send it to my fucking Apple? Like, okay, so
Right.
here's the couple of things. I'm gonna get yelly now, and I think this will be entertaining, probably. Um, no, so here's my couple of very important questions, right? Like, um, you have a field that's where someone fills out their shipping address, right? Why
Yes.
pull any different information from anywhere? Because
Right,
you asked
like,
me where I want it to go.
well,
Clearly,
most
that's where I want
online
it to
order
go.
forms will have a little checkbox that says use billing address as shipping address.
Yeah, but generally you
And
have
if
to
you
click
don't
that box.
exactly, if you don't check off that little box, you got two separate options.
But here's the thing. That's
Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
not what that box says on websites, Evie. What that box says is use shipping address as billing address. Because
Oh,
you
you're
type in
right.
the shipping address first, because that's
First.
more
Yep.
important.
Yeah, you're right. I just can't read.
All right. Second of all, okay, so now any other form of payment, right? Like if I use my credit card, right?
Mhm.
Or like PayPal, right? They're gonna just send it to my shipping address, right? So how about when I click the Apple Pay button, why don't you have a little box that comes up that says, "Hey, just so you fucking know,
Right. Like
make sure your Apple Pay address is up to date." And then I'd be
Yeah.
like, "What?" You know, and then I'd fix it and be like, "That was weird, but at least
Yeah.
my RAM is coming to my fucking apartment
Like my Google
and not
Pay
my
address
mom's
is
house
probably still Ithaca.
4 hours away from here."
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, on the note of your mom's house,
Mm-hmm.
where you were,
Mm-hmm.
did you get that copy of Digimon World 3
I
for
wasn't
me,
there
or
for
are you a
Thanksgiving.
bitch?
I was with Alyssa with her family for Thanksgiving. I'm with
Uh-huh.
Alyssa all the time. I was with her
Uh-huh.
family for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a cop-out, Eddie. Sounds like you just didn't want to get me that copy of Digimon World 3 for the PSX.
I think that maybe
Sounds like you just don't
So
love me.
listeners, I as a youngin owned a copy of Digimon World 3 for the PS1, which is an amazing game.
Yep. So I'm told.
And I never got rid of like my old games and stuff. They're just somewhere in the attic
haven't heard
in my
Ben
mom's
sound this
house.
in a while.
And I was telling Ben about this, and he was like, "Get it for me. I want it. Give me that game."
He's like, do it.
And he's become a little bit obsessive about it.
I fucking love Digimon, man. I don't know how much clearer I can be about this.
Oh man, it's a great game, Digimon World 3.
So I'm told.
Yeah, my favorite part about it, and I've talked to you about
that
this
I don't
before,
own
Ben,
it?
I think, is that you don't own it. And also that you can play the Digimon card game in it, which is probably where most of the Digimon card game has been played, because, man, I never saw anyone playing it in real life.
At least in
Ben,
America. In Japan, it was like a whole thing.
Ben, do we have a PSX?
You have the
We have a
backwards compatible
PS2.
PS3.
Ah.
And any PS3 can play PSX games.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
But how did I not know that?
Well, they're so small that backwards compatibility is super easy. You need a back compat PS3 to play PS2 games.
That's what
Mhm.
it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
To play Magic
Mhm.
But
Pendulum,
also I
the
have a
Quest
backwards
for
compatible
Color.
PS3, so to play
Yeah.
Magic Pendulum, the Quest for Color.
I too have a
Oh my
backwards
God.
compatible PS3.
Ben, you can't just tell the same
I got
story
it
to
exactly the same way I got my PS4.
Stealing?
Somebody just left it at your.
Yeah,
at
no,
GameStop.
so I guess kind of stealing. I don't know.
Um,
I worked at GameStop,
me
As
too.
did I.
and the way I got my PlayStation 4, I came into work one time, and my manager, Andrew, he was like, "Hey, he told me this story. There was a PS4 hanging out on the counter, and he told me this story. A guy came in with this PS4. He said, 'I'd like to trade this in.' And Andrew said to him, 'Okay, do you have the wires or the controller?' And he said, 'No, I don't. What can I get for this?' And Andrew said, 'Nothing. You can't get anything for it. I can't buy it from you. I could
Yeah,
sell
'cause
you
he
the
doesn't have the
controller and the wires, and then I could give you negative $2 for this.'
Oh,
And then the
man.
guy was like, 'Oh,' and then he left, and he left his PlayStation there, which he
But, like,
probably
like,
stole.
Yeah, definitely stole that for sure.
So
Did you ever try running that cereal?
no, I did. How do you do that? I don't fucking know.
Don't bother.
So then
It's
Andrew's
yours
like,
now.
It's your
Andrew's like, so I thought since you don't have a PS4, you might want to buy the wires and controller and take this. And I was
Yeah.
like, you're absolutely goddamn motherfucking right. And he was like, great, now we can play Destiny 2 together. That was his secret
Nice.
plan the whole time, was to get me to play
You know,
Destiny 2 with
You're
him.
playing Destiny 2 and you never played Destiny 2 with me?
Listen,
Bastard.
See, I got my
On top
first.
of not getting me Digimon World 3.
No, I got my first PS4 by trading a laptop for it.
Nice.
Originally, I was
When you
gonna
say
trade that laptop
trading,
for
you
a
mean like
car.
what?
Like barter system.
What is
I
the
originally
world
was
that
gonna
you live
trade that
in?
laptop for a car, but then
The world
car
of
in
my
question,
ex-girlfriend not knowing how money worked.
the car in
Oh my
question
God.
split in half, so I instead
Yes, that
traded
car
it for her
did in
PS4.
fact just break in half at the
Yeah,
axle.
so I instead traded it for her PS4 because she bought a new one.
All right, but here's my question: why didn't she know how money worked?
Well, she was
just
she was a young person who was like just learning to like do things on
Like,
her own.
was her family like really well off or something when she was growing up?
Unclear.
yeah, I really couldn't tell.
All right, let's move past that,
Yes.
and not go down the X rabbit hole that apparently the last episode
That
was
ruined our
destroyed
last episode,
by.
yeah.
Could you imagine if rabbit holes were shaped like a letter X?
Oh my goodness, guys! I'm a rabbit
marks
animorph,
the prey.
as we learned, and the last episode went down a rabbit hole, a hole that was left by my absence.
Oh, God.
That's it. He's connected the dots.
It all links together.
You haven't connected
Oh,
shit.
so
We're
I
not
was
being
on
referential.
I was on Twitter
It's too
today,
late.
and I saw that Inception was trending, like a
What?
lot, like
What?
bigly, right? And do you know
Was it
why?
released for the first time in Australia?
No,
I
no.
don't-
Do you know why Inception was trending?
Of course not.
The trailer for Christopher Nolan's newest film came out. It has nothing to do with Inception.
It's just people were like, "Hey, you guys remember Christopher Nolan's last film?
No, but he's released like a few
lot
films
since
since
that.
Do you remember
Inception.
Christopher Nolan's last influential film?"
Dunkirk?
Look, man, I'm trying to be mean.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
when
Christopher
did
Nolan makes good
Inception come
movies. Why are you
out?
trying to be mean to him?
Why did
'cause-
Inception? Why?
Like 2008 or something, right? Or 2011? It's been a
I was a
long
kid.
time.
You said why?
Why? Why did Inception come out? Yeah.
So yeah, I guess everyone was just like mentioning Inception or something. I don't know. I didn't look deeper into it. I just thought it was fucking hilarious.
But you have to go deeper.
We have to go deeper. Um, Oh man, that's fucking funny.
Oh god. I haven't laughed this hard since Thanksgiving.
I want you guys to count your blessings, by the way.
One. Done.
Because next episode is just gonna be an hour of me complaining about the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, and like,
Oh,
Yeah.
we haven't even seen it yet. We're just kind of like assuming the worst, huh?
Mhm.
Oh no, I forgot to put the rest of my kitten's can of food away in the fridge, so it's just an open can of cat food.
Do you want to go do that? We'll fill dead air.
No, I really don't.
All right.
I'll do it
I'm trying to
later.
think if I have any other good stories from the
You know what
week
I wanna
I've
talk
been
about?
away. Please
Oh, no.
do.
Cats the musical, the movie.
No.
Jesus.
Let's talk about it.
Let's look at some of the reviews for Cats the musical, the movie, shall we?
So
While
from
you
the-
look those
the-
up, oh, go
the
ahead,
base-
Mike, please.
The basis of what I've heard when you for the people who have reviewed it on like Rotten Tomatoes and whatever sites.
That's not real. Movie reviewers aren't real.
Nonetheless, despite they exist or not, it seems like they're like part of an H.P. Lovecraft story. like all of them are completely appalled and horrified.
Well, like,
My kids will be born cursed.
They're
I
like, it
know
was
how
a
to
dream
have
of a
fun."
nightmare, the likes of which I
saw
cannot
a
describe
tweet
to
that
you.
was like, I saw a tweet that was like, I can't count the amount of times that I just muttered, "Oh wow" to myself as I left the theater.
Let's see.
I'm like,
It's taken.
That's really powerful.
Let's see from Robert W. Butler. It's taken the musical Cats nearly 40 years to make its way from the stage to the big screen, which is not entirely true. But he ends this with, "Now we know why."
Oh,
All right, let's
jeez.
fucking talk about this for a second, okay?
I don't wanna.
I'm gonna talk about
I'm
it.
really scared
Who
of Cats
here,
the
who
musical,
amongst
the
us
movie.
has seen the stage show of Cats?
I have. I've seen the recording of the stage show of Cats.
All right,
I am
Ben,
a poor
And
myself,
also I've seen a teenage but not associated with a school performance of Cats.
Weird.
Oh,
Mike, have you
no.
seen Cats?
I have not.
Evey, Cats?
Consider yourself lucky.
I have not seen any stage play of any musical, but if I were going to see one, it wouldn't be Cats.
Okay, so let me tell you really briefly, Mike and Evey, and dear listeners, about Cats. I'll do very, very just relevant
Get into the
description.
history of Andrew.
No, I'm just gonna give
Cat.
relevant description. So the musical Cats is surprisingly about cats, literal actual cats.
In theory.
Now here's the thing about cats. I don't know if you know, they can't learn lines and sing and dance.
Well, no, you
So necessarily, the cats in Cats are played by humans in the stage show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now to represent the cats, they dress up in these body suits, and they wear
Horrible.
ears and whiskers. No, it's fine.
It's just Broadway for furries.
Because
just
then,
like the Lion King.
through the magic of theater, everyone in the
Well,
audience pretends that they're cats. Okay?
Just
Suspension
like in Stomp,
of
everybody
disbelief.
pretends that it's music.
Oh.
So we pretend that they're cats, right? Even though they're people, dressed up as cats, we pretend that they're cats because
just
the
like the
show
Lion King.
is about cat. Just like in Lion King, you pretend it's a lion and not a dude. Yeah, exactly. So the person
Like
or
how in
people,
Rent, people pretend that they're disenfranchised young people instead of really, really rich.
the person
stop?
or people
I don't want to hear
behind
you
the
talk badly
film.
about Rent anymore.
Fuck Rent, it's terrible. We're
It
talking
just
about
makes
cats.
me tired. I don't
we're
want to hear
we're talking
it.
about cats. The person or people behind the film Cats apparently didn't know that information. They seem to have just seen like some still images from the show and gone, oh yeah, okay, it's about weird hybrid cat humans.
No. I've seen
if you
some
see
of the screenshots, and like I still have nightmares about them. That's why I couldn't sleep last
You
night.
didn't
I was
watch
just
the
thinking
trailer?
About the cats from Cats the Musical, the movie.
You didn't watch the trailer from Cats the
I was
Musical the
scared
movie?
to because I saw
Yeah, so
stills and got
it's
nightmares.
a bunch of like
Cats the
hybrid
Musical
Lovecraftian cat human hybrids.
It's really not fair to Lovecraft.
And
That
it's
are roughly the size of cats, but
And-
all have human faces and no
What?
genitals
Wait,
and no
they're
clothes.
the
and it's
size of cats?
terrible.
Yeah, like straight up dancing on top of like garbage cans.
I thought they were
And-
people-sized.
No,
then.
they are cats.
So, but here's the
Oh,
problem.
I
Okay,
know.
here's the problem though: is they don't look like they're the size of cats.
Mhm.
They don't.
look
They
like
look
they're
like
the size of people until you see them next to an object that is people
they
sized.
look
That's why I
like
thought they
no
were the
no no.
size of
They look
people.
like they're people sized, and all the objects look giant. It doesn't look like the objects are normal sized and they're small. It
Oh,
looks like the
geez.
objects are
Oh, God.
gigantic.
Oh no.
The perspective doesn't work.
I'm even more afraid.
Also,
of this movie
okay,
now.
all right, here's the thing. And now this might be a positive for the film, okay? I haven't seen the film yet, so this might be a positive.
I don't like that yet in there. Like, are you?
Of course I'm going to see the movie.
No,
I'm so
please.
sorry.
I love bad things.
I mean, maybe we can all get really drunk and watch it.
but
No.
That sounds even worse. That sounds like I might have a panic attack.
I mean, I don't need a special circumstance to have one of those.
Let's keep talking about this awful, awful movie.
Okay, so in Cats, also I'm sorry I'm so knowledgeable about the musical Cats.
Me too.
So in Cats, there's a character named Old Deuteronomy,
What?
and he
There's
is
a character named who?
Old Deuteronomy, and he
You can't
is like the leader of the
The
cats.
Ducks did that name already. You can't do it again.
What?
Ducks?
Huey,
fuck?
Dewey, and Louie.
Right, because Dewey's name is
Name
Deuteronomy.
is Deuteronomy.
I feel like
I
Cats
actually
is
think that Cats
older
outdates, yeah.
than
DuckTales.
I don't
DuckTales.
care because
DuckTales.
DuckTales has
Woo!
way more cultural impact than Cats could ever
I
hope
feel like
to.
it does.
Unfortunately not.
All right, so Old Deuteronomy is the leader of the cats. Okay. Now
I guess
there
it's
is a part of the movie or of the musical where McCavity, and his goons kidnap Old Deuteronomy. Okay.
I will say
Is
these
there?
are.
I've seen Cats twice and I don't
hold on.
remember plot points.
I want to say the only realistic thing so far about Cats the musical is that People do just name their cats like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Mistopheles.
Mr. Mistopheles.
Why not
That's
just
the magical
Mephistopheles?
magician.
Specifically,
That's the magician cat. Anyway,
There's a
McCavity.
magic cat.
McCavity
Okay.
and his goons kidnap old Deuteronomy. Then McCavity
Why
comes
are
back,
the goons?
disguised as old Deuteronomy, and pretends to be old Deuteronomy to try and get the other cats to do what he wants.
Oh, because all cats look the same to you?
I don't understand how all of this fits into
They're
the
not
sing
all
and
the
dance
same.
competition of trying to die.
All right, so then
What?
That's
What?
the plot of
I
Cats.
don't want to talk. I'm just giving relevant plot information.
What?
Now, here's the problem that I'm coming across, and again, this might be a positive in the film, but here's the problem I'm coming across. So McCavity in Cats the Musical, the movie, is played by Idris Elba. Probably not terrible casting, except for the way that the cats look.
And also, I'm sorry that Idris Elba said yes to Cats the Musical, the movie.
Yeah, me
But
too.
then old Deuteronomy is played by Judi Dench, who's not a dude. So it's gonna be weird when Idris Elba comes in and is like, "Yes, I am Judi Dench. Hello." Yeah. Yes.
Well, that's very interesting,
Yeah,
isn't it?
You see, it's a nuanced choice. You know.
So, again,
don't-
that might be a positive. It might be pretty funny to see Idris Elba pretending to be Judi Dench, but it's gonna be weird when the other cats are like, "Yeah, that's clearly Judi Dench." Like that's the part that's gonna be weird, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I think of Cats the
They
movie,
look
the
very
musical.
different.
Yeah.
Maybe if they were played by, like, cats, or,
Well, see-
like, CGI
Oh, also,
cat animals, you could play it as, like, yes, I am Judi Dench with a head cold.
Also in the
That is
trailer,
why my
Judi
voice
Dench's
is so
character
low.
appears to be wearing a fur coat, which is disturbing.
There were a
That-
number of
yeah,
those
I
in
don't
the
like the
stage play, but that's because the
implications of that.
stage play had like costuming
Yeah.
and not mocaps.
Why is this now? Let me tell you. I was gonna say, why is this not just an animated movie where they're cats instead of people
Yeah.
cats?
That is the
Yeah.
real
That'd be great.
question.
And the answer, I don't know if you know this, but I have the answer. Is
Oh,
that it
no.
was supposed to be, and then
Oh,
when Tom
no.
Hooper was attached to direct, he said, "Fuck that."
Okay, so I think I have some
Why?
information about Mr. Hooper.
He's a furry.
He's
No,
definitely
dude,
a
the furries
furry.
also have no idea what's going on with this fucking movie.
No.
Oh wait, yeah, no,
That's-
no, no,
You
no.
should
If
know
he
that.
was,
They
if he
found
was
the
actually a furry, they'd be
perfect.
hot.
They found the perfect balance of right in the middle of so that both furries and non-furries hate it.
Yes.
Maybe the person who decided that the cats should look like that, thought, maybe we can pander to the furry audience by
Nobody's
making
trying
them
to
look
pander
like
to
people.
furries.
But
There aren't
they didn't
enough
know
of them.
how to make the cats hot.
Pretty
And I
sure
gotta say,
know.
it's really easy to make a cat hot.
Hey, shut up.
Oh man.
There's this
I'm
one
just
really
saying this-
weird shot
I'm
in the
saying
trailer.
this
With a spray bottle.
I'm saying this objectively, not because I would be interested, because
There-
I wouldn't be.
There's this one really weird shot in the trailer, where the cat that is Taylor Swift is
Oh,
dancing.
right, one of the cats is Taylor Swift.
Yeah, is dancing,
Yeah,
and she like
unfortunately.
shakes her chest around back and forth really quickly, as if
Huh?
she has boobs. But
But she's a cat.
but she doesn't, because all the female cats, instead of boobs, have two weird lumps so that they kind of have the shape of boobs without
Mhm.
putting boobs on the cats. So it's very disconcerting to watch.
Just put boobs on the cats.
Well, but then they'd have to make them wear clothes.
No.
Which half of them do?
Yeah, some of them do. Idris Elba's dressed as a cowboy,
What?
which is
Hold up.
reminded, like when I watch the trailer, it makes me think like, oh yeah, he was in that bad Dark Tower movie.
So, like, the thing with Cats the Musical, the movie, is that Cats the Musical did some things for Broadway that were important. Like,
Sure.
it had, like, outrageously complicated set design.
I mean,
Its
listen,
costume design was
Moses did
astounding.
some important things. It still sucks.
Its choreography had all the money in the world poured into it. So, like,
I could dance
All of
really
those
pretty and still
things-
be useless.
all of those things did important things for musical theater.
Yeah, I mean,
But
the
Cats the
Beatles did a
musical
thing or
is
two about
fucking
music,
awful.
but you know.
It's got some good songs in it.
Yeah, but Cats the musical is fucking awful because fucking Andrew Lloyd Webber looked at a book of children's poems called Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. And he
Wait,
found
wait! You're telling me that Cats the fucking musical is based
on poems by T.S. Eliot. Yes, shut up.
T.S. Eliot poem?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm still going.
He,
So-
I'm gonna
T.S.
throw up.
Eliot invented the phrase "jellicle cats."
Yeah.
It means nothing.
But so, like, not included in that book was another poem about cats that was a little sad. And Andrew Lloyd Webber looked at that poem and he said, "The cats are sad. The cats can have emotions. I need to write a musical about this." And then he looked at his producer, and his producer said, "Well, I mean, I guess with this new poem, we could reframe it as, like, the plight of the commoners in, like, Victorian industrial England." And he said, "No!" And then he holed up with his backers for 2 weeks in the mountains with a lot of cocaine. And he, quote-unquote, workshopped, and then came back with Cats the Musical, which is about a bunch of cats dancing for the chance to die.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, the since Ben's going
feel
into
so
it,
broken.
the overarching plot of Cats is that there's some competition, and the winner is going
Gets
to be
to die.
what the way they say it is they're going to get to be reborn into a new life.
They get to die. And then a big hand comes down from the top of the stage, and the one that won climbs into the hand and is brought up to heaven and is dead.
So they get to
I
be
mean, that's
reborn
very
into a new
relatable.
life. But here's my important question: is this the only way that they can die, or
Yeah,
if
right?
they die outside of this
Well,
circumstance,
cats have 9 lives,
if-
so
if they-
otherwise they'd have to die 9 times.
if
and
they
that takes a
die
long
outside
time.
of this circumstance, like, do they get erased from existence? Do they go to hell? Like, what happens
No,
They
to
just
them?
live
they
the
come
same life
back.
they
They've
live.
got 9 lives. They have to die 9 times. But if they do this,
But also, why do they have to die this way?
fast track. It's a
don't
fast
think
track
that's-
through all 9 lives.
I don't think that's right, because also, there's a cat war.
Hmm.
One of the songs from one of the cats is about how he was a general in a war between the cats and some dogs,
Mhm.
and there are guns in it.
Mhm.
Huh?
There's straight up a war that
I
the
don't-
cats have.
That's true.
I don't.
Guns and, like, trenches.
I don't like Cats the musical.
Neither does anyone else, which makes this
wanna
even more
see-
confusing.
I want to see any other. I would like to see any other musical.
Um,
Any other, honestly.
we spent a lot of time on.
We
It's
spent
Cats
a
the
lot of
Musical.
time on Cats the Musical.
You know what's
the
a
movie.
really good quality musical is Tarzan, and the reason why
Because it was entirely by Phil Collins.
is because his music and lyrics by Phil Collins.
Ben
God.
got
So Evie was
upset
talking
with
to me
me.
about Evie. Okay, so Evie wants to use my sister's Disney Plus account
Mhm.
because Evie
Because I
wants to
want
watch
to
Brother Bear.
Bear.
And one of the reasons that Evie gave me for watching Brother Bear is Phil Collins. And I looked her in the eye and I said, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Tarzan is on Disney Plus."
It's not the Phil Collins is not the sole reason. I really like Brother Bear.
I mean, Phil Collins is not the sole reason for you doing
No,
something.
I'm really
What is
hoping,
wrong with you?
I'm really hoping that in the editing, every single time that the name Phil Collins is spoken, another picture of Phil Collins. And like at the end, it's just Phil fucking Collins, and every single like word, it just gets closer on the picture.
I think we really are gonna get in trouble for the Phil Collins thing one of these days.
How are we gonna get in
Someday
trouble?
he's gonna see DS, and another day he's gonna be a guest star.
We're up to
Yeah.
like 33 pictures of Phil Collins on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I can't wait
and
until
all that.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins,
is a
Phil
guest
Collins,
star
Phil
on the podcast.
Collins.
Can they be different pictures of Phil Collins? There's a
That's
How
lot.
what I
many
mean.
pictures
I'm
of Phil
sure.
Collins could there be?
I mean,
lot.
He's been a fucking like folk star since the 80s.
A lot of pictures, huh?
He's a guy.
Here's a picture of Phil Collins sitting on a bench. Phil Collins with a dog. We probably actually
Phil
did find
Collins
those.
looking wistfully into the mountains.
Oh God, please stop.
Here's my picture of me and Phil Collins on vacation. We're friends now.
You're gonna give Eddie so much trouble editing this.
This episode will never come out.
Eddie, I need you to edit in a picture of a burger gently floating from right to left across the screen.
See, but instead of that burger, now Eddie's just gonna have an image pop up that says "Fuck you, Ben."
Yeah.
It's gonna replace the image that says "Fuck you, Mike" that he put instead of all the Phil Collins.
And you're getting so loud, I'm afraid that my mic is going to start picking you up.
It's possible. I'm gonna close my door again because the dogs have left my room.
There are several positives to living with Ben. The first positive is that he's my best friend and I love him.
Gross.
But like, there are more negatives.
Mm-hmm.
And the negatives are that
This is a road I would like us to travel.
Is what's wrong with living with Ben? He smells. He's loud.
He won't
He
stop
won't
talking about
admit-
Digimon.
he won't
that's a
admit
positive.
that like we're friends half the time.
Ew.
Ew.
Fuck off.
He says he doesn't like me.
She made me say that I don't like anyone in front of my nephews.
I was
So
trying
then my
to
nephews
bait
had
you
to
into
stop and they were like,
admitting that
Ben,
you
why
care
don't
for
you like
people.
us? We like you. And I said, no. Oh, bud.
I
Because
was
you don't
She
made you
understand
say
dark
it?
humor yet.
Like
I
she
was trying
threatened
to
you
go
into
through
saying
and
it?
telling the boys that you
No,
like
we were
them.
playing Super Smash Brothers. And
They
she was like, why don't you like me? And I said, I don't like any things. And my nephews were there. And it was not great.
I was trying to goad Ben into admitting that he has feelings of affection for his friends.
Ew.
He'll only
Mainly
admit
me.
to feelings of
I need
affection
to
towards
know.
me.
Not possible.
This is true. Eddie, I love you.
Thanks, Ben.
What the fuck?
Evie, you can go.
Evie,
Well,
What?
you'll never understand our bond.
the bond of
I mean,
warriors.
I understand it perfectly.
I accidentally stopped the recording, but
What?
I noticed immediately. So we only probably missed about like 10 seconds of content. What I
we
just
recording
learned
again?
when I just learned by accidentally hitting the space bar that pressing it stops the recording.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
pressed it.
surprised that hadn't happened earlier.
But here's what
Yeah,
happened.
me
I
too.
pressed the space bar by accident. And then I was listening to Ben, and then I was like, let me just make sure that didn't stop the recording because I'm paranoid. And then I looked, and it had.
How do you play League? You use spacebar.
Well, when I'm not in this window, the keyboard isn't going to affect this window.
Ah,
Mm.
this is not quite as bad as when I kicked you from the call.
That's true.
That was only a
Uh.
couple of weeks ago, but god damn was that funny.
So, guys, we got about 45 minutes left. So why don't we start
Left?
talking about
Left?
Evie's ex-boyfriend?
It's been
What?
15
Oh no,
that-
he's
That was
making a joke.
that was a setup
okay.
for a punchline,
Okay.
but the setup was too shocking.
A little bit.
I'm already about to fucking fall.
It's like,
over
so my
you.
arm fell off last week, and it's like, it doesn't even matter what comes after that. Your fucking arm fell off?
Yeah.
I mean, it got better.
Y'all remember that time that Goofy died in Kingdom Hearts 2? It got better.
He walked it off.
He did. He walked up. He walked back up. He said, hey, guys, I'm fine.
Mike, what games have you been playing recently?
Oh,
Every
he's only got
day-
one answer, too.
Every day I come home from work and Ben asks me if I've finished Pokemon yet.
This is true.
And
I
have
don't
I
you?
play
hear
Pokemon.
what video games I've been playing.
Yeah, Mike, what games have you been playing recently?
I'm gonna
I
guess
have
Dragon
been
Ball.
Playing lots of Dragon Ball Fighters by Arc System. On top of that, I
You've
actually
been
have
playing a lot
on
of Melty Blood.
No, actually, I do want to get into Melty Blood though. Very fun. game.
Melty.
Oh my god.
Melty
Ever
Blood.
since-
About vampires.
This is
Uh,
really where
sort
we're
of.
going.
So if we're going with fighting games,
Yeah,
I've been
sure.
playing a lot of Dragon Ball, a lot of Guilty Gear. My friends are getting me into Arcana Heart recently. Funnily enough,
Oh boy.
game's fun.
It's a little dated.
Well, it's because it has Super Dash, but it's even like more fucked up. Like they
I
have
should.
they have the mechanic that every single fucking person hates in Dragon Ball, except it's even better.
Nice.
But anyway, I've actually been on a really big Binding of Isaac kick again recently.
yeah?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you played fucking Digimon World Cyber Sleuth yet?
I have
You know that
not.
game I gave you with my PlayStation?
Hey,
that I'm
did
looking
you
at right
play-
now? That I'm looking at literally right now? Yeah, I have it.
Did you play God of War yet?
I
What
played...
about Uncharted? You know, all these
no.
games we gave you because
you
they're
play
great and
Horizon
PlayStation
Zero
exclusives
Dawn?
and we
No.
love them.
Did you
Well,
play Horizon Zero Dawn, my second favorite video game?
Well, you see, I did start Horizon. See, the thing is, in order for me to play those games, I had to start my PS4.
Yeah.
Not be on my PC.
The wonderful gift we gave you.
Which I am very thankful for.
The
Of
very
course.
wonderful birthday gift I gave you on my birthday.
Yes,
Mike,
my
are you
birthday is on your
are you a
birthday,
member
yes.
of the PC Master Race?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Ugh.
But yeah, it's just like most of the time, it's just like, damn, I really have because I don't even have a TV to play the PS4. So I have
You
to
just
set up
plug it into your monitor.
which I have, but I don't think you understand. I'm like, damn, I could play this game right here next to me and then have to finagle my PC shit around, or
You like
I could just play a game on my PC.
That's a
you don't
big
have
deciding
to finagle
factor
anything.
for
I
me a
have
lot.
I have an HDMI splitter, so that all I have to do to turn my PlayStation on is hit the PS button on my DualShock 4 that sits on a stand right next to my
Yeah.
PC monitor, and hit
Uh-huh.
the tiny button on my HDMI splitter that's right next to my PC monitor, and then
Mhm.
suddenly my PlayStation is on my PC monitor.
Yeah,
It's like so fucking convenient.
With
Mike.
me, I have it connected to the second slot on my HDMI in my monitor, which is it's just that I have to change a couple PC settings to get everything on my computer to one monitor, and then like if I want to like talk to someone while I play or something, I have to set a bunch of shit up in order to still hear the game and not
Yeah.
have it like feed through my microphone.
Hey,
But
Mike.
yeah,
No,
what's up?
convenience is a big thing for me in gaming. The other day, I wanted to play Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
so I picked up my Switch, and Breath of the Wild I own physically, not digitally, and it wasn't in the Switch. So instead
So
of
you
Breath
put
of
down
the
your
Wild, instead of Breath of the Wild, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. But
God,
no,
I'm
really,
still so
like,
sad that I don't have a copy of Duelist of Roses.
Oh
Like-
man, that's another great fucking game.
It
Yeah.
really is just a matter of laziness for me.
Hey,
It's
Mike.
just like,
Yeah, I mean, like
what's
that
up?
is a mood.
You know what you can get on your
What?
PC to
What?
play right
What?
now?
A
Digimon
Digimon
PlayStation
Story
4.
Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition.
You know what you should get me for Christmas?
What should I get you?
For Crimin? You should get me you playing God of War so I can fucking talk to you about God of War.
It's a good Christmas present.
It's also a very good
commit to
game.
I will commit
Yeah.
to playing God. Yeah, the
Like,
thing is, like,
it's
when I
so
was
good.
when I was playing it, I was genuinely enjoying it. But then, like, I
Like,
would just, I would
I
get-
just I don't know how our relationship got off the ground because I was playing God of War nonstop when we started talking.
Yeah, that is true. Like it was just like, what are you doing? Playing God of War? Oh, again.
Yep.
Wait,
I mean,
again?
that's how it
No,
is
not
with me.
again. Still.
That's how it is with me, because anytime that she talks to me, I'm usually just like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm fighters.
It's like it's nice to reflect though comparatively that he'd text me and be like, "Hey babe, what are you up to?" And I'd be like, fucking playing God of War again. I've been doing that for 18 hours straight." And he'd be like, "Oh, nice. I hope you're having fun." Meanwhile, the last
What are you up
person I
to?
dated
I'm
would be
killing
like,
Baldur.
"Are you playing your own game again? Who wants to
Again.
play a game
Yeah.
with me? Boo hoo."
That's
So
to
it's
be
nice.
fair,
It's
that's
nice to
literally
have
most
a
of our. That's
sweet.
most of our fucking communications. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm fucking puking on the ground, dying, want to kill myself. Oh, great. Well, I hope you have a good time.
Yeah, basically like 80% of what we say to each other is like, "Oh, have fun,"
Yeah.
because we just like let each other do our own shit.
The life of two busy bodies who are hours away from
Mike,
each
Yeah,
I want to tell you, because you're like a fighting game expert.
other.
it's true.
If you want to say that, yeah.
So
He's
I've
a
I've
genius.
never really been into fighting games,
Fair.
but I did back in the day. I played Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
Hell
right.
yeah!
Which I would very loosely classify that as
That-
a fighting game. But
That
Me
was
too,
that
but
game
also
was
that game was the bomb.
The bomb.
oh,
Yeah.
it was fantastic. I loved how there was 150 characters and they literally were all the same character except
Hey.
for their special moves.
Hell
Why
yeah,
don't we
dude.
own that
Yeah,
game?
it was perfect.
No, no, no,
Why
they
is that
weren't.
game not in our
They,
collection?
they weren't
is.
all the same characters
is?
though, okay? Because their
Oh,
their
wait, not
energy
Tenkaichi,
beams were
just
different
Budokai.
sizes and had
Hmm.
different colors.
Yeah, exactly.
And some of them had super armor, and those were the broken ones.
You know, I'm going to be fair. I really wish that a mechanic that was in that game, which is a very old game, and is not in Fighters, is active leveling up. So like you can like actually,
You
if
can
you
go
if
from
you
base
if
Goku all the way
if
up
you-
to Super Saiyan 4 if you try real hard.
exactly. If you pick base Goku, well, you could also just pick Super Saiyan 4 Goku. and
Yeah,
just
but why
like
would you?
But you can
Yeah,
pick
it's not
base
as
Goku,
fun.
and through the course of the battle, level him up through the Super Saiyan levels, and that's not in fighters. There's no character like that. The closest thing is fucking
Frieza, right?
is Gohan, who you level up you level him up throughout the match, but it doesn't he doesn't become Super Saiyan or anything. He just kind of goes ah, and then he's just better.
Wait, is this like
thought that
adult
was just Cell's
Gohan or
whole
teen
thing.
Gohan?
Adult Gohan. 'Cause he
Okay,
has-
that's him activating
so-
the Supreme Kai state.
Yeah, the potential unleashed, exactly. Yeah. When Kai sat there for like 30 million hours just holding his
Can't
hands
believe
or
I'm
whatever.
the nerdiest
And,
person in this podcast.
but nonetheless,
You'll never
I
be.
can.
Frieza has a level 3 where he becomes Golden Frieza. However, it only lasts for like 30 seconds, and then he
Bullshit.
fucking falls over.
It
He
should last
literally has
forever.
a heart attack and just falls over. Yeah.
You have 30
Or-
seconds to win the match or you lose.
Or you have
Great
Broly.
mechanic.
You have Broly.
That's
because
interesting
he
for
has-
like viewers though.
Yeah, there's Broly, who has the closest thing to a mechanic where he powers up. Super Broly, by the way, because there are both Brolys in the game. There's DBZ Broly and DBS Broly.
Oh shit.
DBS Broly, the most recent character to come out in the game, when you do your level 3, he goes like Berserk mode, which literally the only aesthetic change is that he takes his shirt off.
Hell
Nice.
yeah, dude.
Fucking
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
And he gains a whopping 5% more damage. It's
That's
very-
pretty
very-
fucking berserk, dude.
Arxis really,
Oh.
really making moves out.
The other fighting
yeah.
game that I would play back in the day was Tekken Tag Tournament.
You're
Oh,
damn
yeah,
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
Um,
Fantastic game. That game
I still
was,
have a broken copy of that game.
Is it the first one or the second one?
I don't
The
remember.
probably the
It
first.
was
It
on
was-
the
I
PS2.
was just.
I think
I
it was
was
on the
just a Mortal
PS2. It
Kombat.
was
It
the
was the
one
first.
that had like a hidden character to unlock. That was like a girl with like a ghost wolf, or maybe it was a wolf with
yeah,
a
no,
ghost
that was
girl.
Tekken Tag Tournament.
Yeah,
That was the
Tekken
first one.
Tag.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's
I-
been a
Yeah,
long
she was
time.
the boss of arcade mode and really hard to actually
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
I just
Tekken
played a
Tag.
lot of Mortal Kombat as a youngin.
Oh yeah.
So, funnily
Yeah.
enough,
Like the shit
Every-
out of Tekken Tag Tournament.
every series that we talked about here is still in today's scene. Mortal Kombat has Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat 11.
Did I buy Mortal Kombat 11? I wanted to.
It's okay. It's
I don't
okay.
think
don't
you did.
remember-
We just played
I
it
don't-
at John's house.
Oh, yeah.
The only like
guess I didn't
recent
buy
fighting
it.
game I've played is actually put a lot of hours into Injustice 2.
Yeah, Injustice 2. Well, the good thing is that for NRS games developed by NetherRealm Studios, which are both Injustice and the Mortal Kombat games,
Mhm.
they all play pretty similarly. Like the
Yeah.
feel of the game is very similar. Injustice to MKX to Injustice 2 to
Makes sense when you're
to
talking
MK
about,
11.
the same
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah, exactly. They all have a very play style. Tekken is on to Tekken 7, still one of the biggest fighting games out there. They just announced like a bunch of characters for their new season and stuff like that. Tekken
The
World
sumo dude
Tour
looks
just
very
happened. Ganryu, yeah, he seems really cool.
That
they
doesn't.
just-
That's not a new guy.
He's from the older games, but he just got released for 7.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
but
don't.
yeah,
I
He
can't
looks like he's
play.
gonna be very fun.
they
I
have.
can't play Tekken or Mortal Kombat anymore.
I'm very excited about
Like-
the recent Grand Blue Versus news.
Yeah, what is it?
Tell me about it.
wherein, So they just announced the first 4 characters that they're going to be releasing as DLC.
hmm
And you can tell that these characters are actually not done yet because they couldn't show us any real gameplay, just some character
Mhm.
intros.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad that they're coming out after the game is out. And also I don't feel bad that they're releasing them as DLC because when you buy those character passes, you also get a bunch of free stuff in Grand Blue Fantasy itself, the mobile game that is the flagship product of Cygames, the studio that's made all of this.
Okay.
So that's really cool that you get, pretty much twice the value because all of the things they're selling are worth more. All the things you're getting for free are worth more if they were sold
Isn't
separately.
Grand Blue still technically not available in America?
The app isn't, but you can just go to their website and then
No,
set
like,
it
I-
to English
I know that. It's just
because it's available globally.
it's
They just
just-
haven't partnered with a publisher for America.
it just fascinates me. but-
They have trademarked Grand Blue Fantasy Mobile in America,
Yeah.
which means that they're
like,
definitely going to
it'll
put
happen.
out an official app.
No. See,
But there's no reason to use it because the website is exactly the same and doesn't take up space on your phone.
Yeah. I've been playing 2D fighters so much now that I can't go back to Mortal Kombat because I get...
Mortal Kombat's
so
2D.
Well, Mortal Kombat's 2D
Well,
fighter.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat is. I meant Tekken.
Yeah, Tekken's a
yeah.
3D
I
movie.
can't, like, I can't play
You're
Tekken
thinking,
anymore.
you're thinking about the Mortal Kombat games of the past. Of,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
my
yeah.
childhood,
Like my
Armageddon
old Mortal Kombat.
and Deception.
Like Deadly Alliance.
And Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
Yes. The
But,
games that ruined
but-
the series. Yeah.
I gotta play more Eunice.
Eunice is very fun. Eunice is.
I'm like so
used-
bad at it.
I used to see the thing about.
We haven't
fighting
said anything
games-
funny in a while.
Whatever.
The thing about poo poo pee pee. The thing about fighting
Just
games.
say something mean to me and make me
Can we
like
just cut
make
like
a sound
all of that,
face.
just poo poo pee pee, and then end the
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing
Oh shit,
about
we haven't gone
fighting
through our
games-
sponsors.
Yeah, we'll
We
get
already
there.
talked about Phil Collins.
He's
Yeah.
not our sponsor this time.
That's another
Okay,
picture
this
of Phil
episode's
Collins.
sponsored by Arxis. Whatever.
No, this episode's sponsored by Peter Gabriel. Thank you.
What?
Ben, how do I kick Ben?
You can't. I own the call.
He is.
Where's
nonetheless-
which one of these fucking anime
block him.
motherfuckers is Ben?
Nonetheless.
I
um,
legitimately don't know.
Wait, what happens if you block
Wait, Ben,
someone who
talk.
you're in a call with?
Nothing.
All right, never mind. I figured out who Ben is.
You have to mute.
I can't kick him
You beat-
because he's the call.
Yeah.
Because I own the call.
We've already explained this. But
He
no-
is
but,
the Senate.
But nonetheless,
Oh god, Star Wars is gonna be so bad.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
so
so
scared, guys.
excited. You know what I'm most excited about is I've spent a lot of time since The Last Jedi came out arguing with people about how it's a piece of garbage.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm so excited to talk to some of those people after this movie comes out.
Oh, God.
I'm
I'm just,
I'm
like-
ready for the hypocrisy.
I'm
I'm
just out
ready
here,
for the
like, holding out
backpedaling.
hope
I'm-
that I can enjoy Star Wars. Like, and here's the thing about
Oh, you
Last
can
If
enjoy
Jedi.
Star
is
you're
that-
gonna be
Wars.
able to enjoy
Right,
it ironically,
here's,
yeah,
here's
definitely.
the thing about Last Jedi. It was not good.
It's the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was not good. But, like, there were still,
Like,
like,
you haven't seen Cats the
there
Musical
was-
the movie yet.
hold on. Like, there was still maybe a handful of scenes.
Nope.
Definitely not the majority of the movie, but maybe like 5 minutes total that were
Nope.
semi-enjoyable.
Nuh-uh. All right, actually, let me clarify.
Okay, it was
anyone.
the 30 seconds where that weird milk alien was on screen.
That's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah, that was
That's
the only good
terrible. Anyone can feel free to enjoy the film. That's fine. If you liked it, don't let me tell you not to like it.
Let
But
me tell you not to like it. Fuck
Oh
you.
my god.
but in terms of quality, in terms of objective quality, there's not a frame of that movie that doesn't have a plethora of things wrong with it.
I agree.
It is.
Oh, I
It's like a
absolutely agree.
masterclass in how not to write a screenplay. It really is. It is horrendous. And it's not just the writing. I won't get into all the things now. But like every aspect of the production is very flawed. It's so bad. So I'm waiting for people who really liked it to dislike this new one, and then for me to
Right.
say, how come those things? I'll ask them why. Why don't you
How
like
come
the
the
new
milk
movie?
alien?
I'll say, why don't you like The Rise of Skywalker? Tell me. I'm so curious. And then when they tell me, I'll say, why are those things not okay in this movie, but they were okay in The Last Jedi?
Mm-hmm. I'm just like, I'm hoping that I can find something to enjoy because I love the Star Wars pew pew.
Yeah, just watch, the real
I knew
Star
The
Wars
Clone Wars
movies.
animated series.
That too. Just go watch Lego Star Wars: The Cartoon Network series.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just go
I
back and read the
also
books that people actually liked.
I really do actually want to do that. I want to figure out which Star Wars books are good because there are a lot of them.
I know it's the one that everybody says, and there are other good Star Wars books, but the reason everyone says this one is because it's one of the best ones. The Thrawn trilogy is very good. That might be a good first step.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Not that I don't have like
lots of
like
books.
60 unread books. Like I keep going to Barnes and Noble, and Ben keeps saying, "How many books do you have that you haven't read?" And I say, "Shut up, don't look at me," and then I buy more.
I have a whole Kindle sitting on my desk because there's a book that my mother desperately wants me to read, and I've got 2 unfinished books under that Kindle. That
Also, he won't read on a Kindle.
I love
Also
my
kind of
Kindle.
dislike e-readers, yeah.
I
really prefer
Here's what
paper
I
books.
like about it, a lot, is pardon me. I don't know about you guys, but when I read, I get into like over time like weird positions.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Right.
why I can like
And
only
the Kindle,
read for so
I
long.
can 100% effectively use with one hand. So I can get into even weirder reading positions.
Yeah, it's definitely a significant plus.
That
I
said,
understand that, but also I love the smell of books.
I really like reading
I
It is
care
a
physical
major
not.
books.
component of reading
I
for me.
care not for the scent of books.
I love
Oh, I
reading
can't believe Eddie's a
physical
sociopath.
books. I love reading physical books, but I have really tiny hands, and I can't hold a book in 2 hands because I have like extreme sensory
Really
issues.
tiny body.
And feeling the pages on both of my thumbs at the same time, just causes me to shut down. So I have to be able to hold a book in one hand, or else I cannot read it.
You remember in the first episode of this podcast where Evey was like, shouldn't we introduce ourselves and tell people things about us?
And then I said that we would learn that the listeners would learn everything they needed to know about us by us oversharing on the podcast.
We've just learned that Evey can't hold books.
I can't. I'm like super autistic. I
Evey,
can't hold
weren't
a
you
fucking
an
book
English
like a normal
major in
person.
college? Didn't you
Yeah,
graduate with an English degree?
Yeah,
Not
I
only
have to.
that-
I have to hold the book in one hand.
Not
If I hold the book in one
autistic,
hand, I can read it.
super autistic.
I'm super autistic. What do you want from me?
Diagnosed condition. Diagnosed condition.
Isn't
Sad.
isn't Super
real.
Autistic one of the DLC characters in Injustice 2?
Oh my God.
With that, I think we should call out to our sponsors, Peter Gabriel and I guess NetherRealm Studios.
Ben, stop betraying Phil Collins.
And autism. species.
All right.
No, not that one. That's
listen,
a bad one.
Listen, when you talk about Peter Gabriel, I look in your eyes and I think
Oh God.
I think this man does not truly respect Phil Collins.
Guys, I got one for 6 hours. Can we call it off there? It's not a good note to end it on.
Oh God.
Okay, here's our customary sign off.
I
You
mean,
know what they
it's a
say in
no.
Milwaukee?
What are you talking about?
That's it. The podcast is over.
Ben, you're taking a sledgehammer to this podcast. That's
No,
another
that's for
Peter
a different time,
Gabriel
Eddie. Don't
song,
As
by
if
the
it were a
way.
seashell.
Sledgehammer's a Peter
No,
Gabriel
Eddy,
song.
shut up. Podcast is over. Stop recording, Eddie.
The podcast is over.
I've signed off. You know what they say in Milwaukee.
That's not how the podcast. Please tell me that's, not
what
how.
we say at the end of every episode.
No,
and
you
can't
aren't.
Stop me. It's gonna stick.
I literally can stop you. I'm the editor.
You're just gonna cut it every time.
I've posted the ideal male body in the.
Okay, that means that we have to be done. We're getting a little.
All right.
I'm upset that you men don't look like this.
I.
I already
know.
said I look like a beanbag chair. It's right
I
there.
knew that. That's
All right.
literally
I'm
it.
gonna let's end the podcast.